My name is Andrade, but I go by Drew. Personally, myself, I've never been afraid to want more. I've never been afraid to dream. I've never been afraid to say something out loud that might sound crazy to someone else. My biggest creative outlet is letting things come to me based off of like experience, based off what's happening in the current moment.
What's up, Jeff? We're here, 424 in Fairfax. So my name is Drew Andrade. Last name comes from a Latin American background. Very proud to be a Latin American born in America. My parents risked everything to come here, and I'm very thankful. It's a part of who I am, so I like to introduce myself that way. I'm always saying that I'm straight from Guatemala. Like, I think I've done that my whole life. I think where you're from is super important. You should pay attention to that, and you should always take pride in that. It's just some talking points in reference to who I am as a person, and not so much like what I do. A couple of questions that I've been asked before, I just took upon me, and I kind of had like a stream of consciousness. That's like my biggest creative outlet, is letting things come to me based off of like experience, based off what's happening in the current moment, and I kind of let that guide me. Once you understand the language of like law of attraction, and you understand how things work, it gets really fun. Like, it's exciting because you realize that life is kind of directing you in the ways that you need to go. It's almost like a hidden language that you don't really even know how to explain. Artist to me is somebody that knows why they do what they do. Longevity exists only when someone has a motive. So not having an actual concept, not having an actual real meaning to why you do what you do, it will never matter. Every validated artist knows why they do what they do. The idea that art is reserved for a particular group of people is really bogus. Something nice about like silence, you know? Definitely. So I usually do this, like, I do it once a week, if not, try to do it more, where I go somewhere and just kind of chill. If I don't get the chance to do it, then I just chill in my car for like an hour or two. Earth, 114 million years ago, one morning just after sunrise, the first flower ever to appear on the planet opens up to receive the rays of the sun. Seeing beauty in a flower could awaken humans, however, briefly, to the beauty that is an essential part of their own innermost being, their true nature. The first recognition of beauty was one of the most significant events in the evolution of human consciousness. So this is like the infamous alley now, where we basically spend 50% of our time here in the store, in and out, doing operational work. But you'll see a lot of people come in here, just kind of chill, do their thing. Like, people are welcome to kind of come here and just enjoy themselves, you know what I'm saying? Very, very much so. Like, I encourage that. I really encourage people to come here, talk to me. I'll talk to them, I'll talk their fucking ear out. I started to realize that whether it was a job, whether it was like something that was material, whether it was my relationship with someone that I've had, I always used to try to hold on to it. The more I would hold on to it, the more it would pull me away from it. The way it wouldn't mean as much to me. So I started realizing that when it's time to let go of something, it's really important that you let that go. The force that you use to holding on, it doesn't let you grow into a new environment. Setting your limitations based on what other people have done that you know is a very dangerous, slippery slope. I think it should be more of a focus on who inspires you, and those people should set your limits. People that inspire me is like my brother. Luckily, I know someone like who's been massively successful for being themselves, like my brother Guillermo. Steve Jobs influences me, Kanye West, Tesla, Elon Musk. I mean, the list goes on. Mos Def. A lot of my influences come from soccer, they come from hip-hop music, they come from fashion icons, whatever it may be. Learn about people who inspire you, because those people are the ones that were able to obtain beyond what anyone ever imagined, including themselves. I'm nowhere near where I want to be, and my dreams are still so far away. With my dreams being so far away, I have accomplished some form of manifestation through setting myself at a high standard. So I think that's super, super important, and I think that I will be able to achieve everything that I'm supposed to achieve. I don't know that that is everything that I want, but I think the desire will lead me to what I'm supposed to achieve. My voice didn't come from the idea that as an artist you have to have a voice. I think my voice came from my experiences in my life and realizing that my identity is what separated me from the rest. If you don't have a voice, then you don't affect people. And if you don't affect people, then things remain the same. I want to talk a little about art direction, because I feel like I didn't know what the fuck art direction was when I first started at 424, when I first started even anything really in general. When I started working in fashion, I realized that music and fashion kind of coexist. Today we did a photo shoot, but it was very laid back. Normally, like, if I was to direct something, like, I would need a makeup and hairstylist. I would need a stylist. I would want someone who's very good with colors and understands color theory. I would want an art director. I would want an assistant stylist. I would want a photographer. You have all of these outlets where you know to be in addition to a good project. If there's like 10 people out there who watch this, at least they can understand that, like, if you like clothes and you like fashion, there's a lot of outlets. It's not just one. So that's like super important. I think, like, people, if you want to get in fashion and you want to get in that kind of shit, like, get on that. And that's a good starting point for everything. Is like, find out shit that you like first, and once you find out what you like, find out why it's good, understand it inside and out. And when I say find out what you like, it's like, I like blazers. You know, find companies who make good blazers, understand them. You know, understand product at a whole nother level. That's going to separate you from other people, because most people don't think about clothing. You know, most people are too busy thinking about their other crap. Like, if you're an artist, sometimes you're like, yo, I fucking hate clothing. Clothing is whatever. I don't know. I just want to wear this. That's what's going to separate you from everybody else and help you create your own audience, is knowing shit about things that other people don't know about. As a sixth grader and shit, like, I didn't have a lot of money, so what I used to do is I would go to the dollar store and I would buy hella shoelaces. I'd buy like every color of fat shoelaces. And I would take those shoelaces and I would get all white Air Maxes, Air Force Ones, or whatever it was, and I would just change the colors. But that would change my whole fit. You know, like, that one fucking accent to my shoe was like, alright, cool, now I wear like the red hoodie with the red matching fucking jacket or whatever it was, because that's how I used to dress. I used to dress kind of like, I don't know, like hood fashion. Like, I used to dress crazy. I used to wear like rubber bands around my shit. Like, that was my way of making my jeans skinny. So I would put rubber bands around my stuff and be like, oh yeah, fresh, now my shoes are showing, you know? And those were all like things that I was doing to evolve into my style that I am now, and I didn't even realize that, you know? I would just be like walking into school looking crazy, you know? But to me, I was fresh. So it was like my only way of really standing out from the rich kids at school. And the older I got, the more it translated, you know? Then it turned into, oh, I want to dress a little more formal, but I still gotta remain street, you know what I'm saying? Because I gotta make sure my J's are still there. I gotta make sure my fucking Air Force Ones are still a part of it. And like, that's never really changed, you know what I mean? Like, it's pretty much still the same thing. It just only keeps evolving more and more. And now that I understand clothing, like, a little deeper, it's hard for me to wear something that I don't fully love. The combination of something really great and something that's already been created with a little bit mixed in of yourself creates something brand new. lot of times out there, you don't really find anything to give you any sort of belief, you know? We all need belief. We all need a little bit of it, for sure. Believing yourself, I don't know, believing in something. I think believing in something and working really hard towards it and then staying true to who you are is like the formula for natural success. You can be successful and you can even get to the highest depths of success, but you're not going to be happy, you're not going to be fulfilled if you don't stay honest, believe in something, and work really hard at it. And you know, it's not like I had a bad life. I was working hard. I was going to be successful. I was going to do whatever it took to be successful, no matter what it was. But I don't know, I just felt there was something more, you know? And when you feel it, that feeling, and it's there, you can't ignore it. And you know inside yourself that you'll never be fulfilled unless you do what you have to do. And I did what I had to do, so I left. My dad had just gone through quadruple bypass surgery. My mom, you know, had to take care of him. It was a lot. It was a lot. I left my ex-girlfriend. I left. I was coaching kids that I was really drawn to. I left the life that I was, you know, I was in a good place.
Yeah.
I wasn't in a bad place. and it was very hard for me to leave. But you just gotta be that guy sometimes. You gotta just fucking do it. You gotta just do it. And then in the long run, it'll make sense. And it's starting to make sense more and more for me. But it took some time, you know. If you move to LA, you are going to feel uncomfortable. But if you expect to feel uncomfortable in anything you do in life, you'll remain in the same environment and never grow any trees, you know?
Stagnant.
You'll be stagnant. It's like you have this huge landscape of grass, and unless you go out and get seeds somewhere else and bring them back to your grass, then nothing's gonna grow, you know? And going out to get those seeds sometimes can be harmful or scary or whatever it is, or uncomfortable. You might have to run away from a wolf or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is to get those seeds and then bring them back and plant them in your environment so that you can grow more. Yeah. I say my favorite creative is the moment. It could be a person in the moment that inspires me, but for the most part, it's always where I am and my surroundings that inspire me the most. Whether it's a tree, whether it's the orbit that we just walked into. I take all those things as signs and signals. If I'm attracting them to my life, it's because I'm decoding my patterns and I'm decoding where I come from or where I'm going. So I use everything around me in my everyday, and I pay very close attention to who comes into my life, what experiences are coming to me, what's repetitive. I pay very close attention to all the details surrounding me. If something brought me here, I don't think that I brought myself here. I always feel that my subconscious brought me here. Sometimes our thoughts happen before we think them. There's a reason why you are where you are most of the time. Whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, anything that it may be, there's always a reason for it. So the moment has helped me massively, creatively.